Please welcome Glen and Xiomara Li.
Hey guys. All right. MIT, right. Yes. Hey guys, are we live? All right, are we live? Hey, listen. This is the most unbelievable group of MIT that I've ever seen. Hey, listen. It's the 40th annual MIT. We were in the first one, right? This was 21 years ago. But this is the 40th one, and you guys are here for a special edition 40th year anniversary. Not 40th year anniversary, 40th annual, right, which is the anniversary. Okay, so watch. Listen, where else are they going to put together a dynamic group of speakers anywhere in the world where this is the only place where millionaires train future millionaires, right? And I got a call from the 39th annual, right, MIT group, and they said they were more excited than you guys. And I said, no possible way, all right? No possible way. Because you guys are the ones, okay? So here's my beautiful wife, okay? She's the one that makes me look good, okay? She speaks better than me, looks better than me, and she is better than me. Thank you, babe.
I love you, babe. Hey, guys. Hey, I know that this group right here is ready to take us, right? And all of us, we're going to do this thing together, right, guys? But we're ready to take this thing to number one, right? By the time we walk into Mercedes-Benz Stadium, guys, everybody snap their finger, snap your finger. It's gonna go like that. But I know this is the most positive, energetic group, right, guys? The most hardworking group, and we're gonna do something big together, right? We're not gonna let our CEO down and our company leaders. We're really gonna take this thing to the next level. We deserve to be number one. We deserve it, but we've got to make sure our actions stand behind that, right? This beautiful woman that I'm about to introduce, we get to be your host for today, and this beautiful woman that we want to introduce, she's an incredible mom. I mean, I think she's probably the most dynamic speaker in all of Primerica. She's going to light this stage up, but what I love about her most is her example, who she is, how solid she is, her integrity inside, right, guys, her character, but also how hard she works. This is an incredible woman. I'm blessed to call her a friend. And I know she's ready to light it up, right? So allow me to reintroduce to you Tonia Poe.
Yourselves a round of applause. You worked hard to be here, okay? This is the place you've been trying to get to your whole entire life and you didn't even know it, okay? That 110. I love you back. Listen, you guys are now a part of a great fraternity of people, regional vice presidents in the best country in the world. I know some Canadians in here are going to beg to differ. The best 2 countries in the world, let me say that, okay? But I want you guys to go home and feel empowered. I want you to go home and understand the mission. Please don't make the mistake that a lot of people make in Primerica when they become regional vice presidents and they think that they've arrived. They think that, you know, oh my God, I've done it. It's just begun. And those that want to be big, you will. Those that just want to carve out a nice life for yourself, you will. The thing about Primerica is it gives you the opportunity to do whatever it is you want to do. But I want you to understand that you guys are dream makers, okay? You are holding the title of Regional Vice President, and now you have the job, the awesome job, to be able to offer the opportunity to so many other people. You have the awesome job to be able to help some other people's dreams come true. You know, you have to take the time to actually get to know people, find out, just slow it down a little bit. Don't be in such a hurry. My upline used to always say, don't be in a hurry to get to a red light. Just take your time. Take your time fast, though. Don't crawl. Take your time fast. But take your time and really love the position that you're in. I mean, just think about it. Embrace it. Think about this. You had a job once upon a time, or maybe not. Maybe you were a student, you never worked, okay? But most of you had a job once upon a time. You had zero control, none. And here you are, a regional vice president in a company that offers you the opportunity to get ownership, that offers you the opportunity to be able to pass this down to your children, that offers you the opportunity to be able to, if something were to happen to you, okay, your spouse can continue what it is that you've started and created for your family. You guys have to understand how powerful that is, and that you hold the keys to someone else's future. For everything that you don't want to do, you are stifling somebody else's growth. For everything that you refuse to do, you're stifling somebody's growth. For everything that you won't forgive that happened to you, for everything that you think is so wrong, you're stifling your own growth. I want you guys to understand you guys have the keys to not only your future, but so many others. And that's one thing that I really want you to take home. And I want you to understand where you can go. Sky's the limit right now. Sky's the limit. Every big person that you see in Primerica, every big dog, if you will, they have the same contract you have at the end of the day. They had to start the same way you started. So what makes them different from you? What I always used to say is, they may have gotten there first, but they're not better than me. They got there first. Their thinking might be better than mine. I can fix that. The way they respond to things, to adversity, might be different than mine. I can fix that too. Okay? The knowledge that I have of self might be a little different. I can fix that too. Anything that is different, you can fix. But do you want to fix it? Are you ready to do the work? Because see, the game begins right now. The game begins right now. You need to channel it on back to being a district. Channel it on back to when you was working, tirelessly. And maybe you weren't one that ever worked tirelessly. But if you want to override those that do, you might want to start. Okay? The universe is only going to give you what you put out. Okay? The universe is not going to allow you to have a 100-grand base shot when you've never been a part of building one. So you need to get started right now if you weren't. Get started right now. Be a part of building your own. You understand? See, the RVP contract is not meant to override. Well, it got real quiet. You hear that? You hear a pin drop. Ooh, what's she talking about? You hear a pin drop, huh? It wasn't meant to override. It was meant to build. Override comes later. It comes later. It's meant to build. The overrides are nice, but it was meant for you to build. So the question I have for you, are you recruiting at the kitchen table? You know, I get so many people asking me about that because, my hierarchy, I'm from, Hector Lamarck's hierarchy. There's two things that, we do. We're always asking, where you at? Because the numbers don't lie. And we always talking about the magic happens at the kitchen table, okay? So are you recruiting at the kitchen table? Let me explain to you how this works, how I built my business. First of all, I understood I'm not going to get paid off a recruit. I'm going to get paid off of a productive code. There's a difference. Now, I need the recruits. I need a lot of them so I can turn them in. I have more opportunities to turn them into a productive code, okay? But when I'm at that kitchen table, I always say, this Zoom thing, I do love it. I love the opportunity. It has its good and bad, right? I love the opportunity. I love Zoom. I have to say it, I have to convince myself. I love Zoom. I love Zoom. I love Zoom, right? But I built my business where I had to get in my car and zoom to the next appointment, okay? Zoom on the freeway in LA traffic is not good. But that's the way I built this thing. So I was used to kneecap to kneecap. And I had to make a change. So those of you that's been here a while, but that was BC, before COVID, okay? Those of you that were BC, you've got to get with it. You've got to embrace it. It took me a while too, I get it, but I had to embrace it. And I had to start recruiting some people that would embrace it. Because sometimes your base shoppers gonna get they little worn down with the old stuff and they don't wanna reject the new. No, you have to embrace it because that's the wave of the future. But I ask people when I sit down with them, after I've closed them, after I've provided their family with protection, it's very, very easy to recruit. And let me tell you why I preferred it that way. Because when I sit down to do just a recruiting appointment, they don't know the crusade. They don't know what it is that we do yet. They can't feel it the way you would feel it if you just participated in it. And so to me, you get a much better quality of recruit because they hold the product. They are grateful that you even spoke to them about it. So I would say, listen, did you see anything difficult about what I just did? And they're gonna say no. It's a trick question. They're gonna say no because they just became my client. So obviously they did. Usually they brag about it. Oh my God, it's the first time I've ever understood investments, the first time I've ever understood life insurance. It was great, great. And how long have we been here? Oh, about an hour and 15 minutes. Great. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna show you how much money I just made for helping your family. See, I throw it out there. If you wanna get with somebody that's money motivated, then throw it out there. I have no one has ever told me, no, don't show me. Don't show me, I don't wanna know. They say, really? And they lean in, really? Yeah, I'm gonna show you what I just made. And this works on Zoom as well. It really works on Zoom, let me tell you why. Because I'll throw in, you're in the comfort of your own home, I'm in the comfort of mine. I'm only dressed from the waist up, and they always laugh. I'm only dressed from the waist up, you should see the bottom, you don't even wanna see it. And so I hit them with that. And then they're on Zoom. I said, you can change your background. You can do it from anywhere. And so they really love it. And then I tell them. And when I tell them, they say, wait, you 700, 600, you what? In an hour? I said, yeah, well, I have a question. How long does it take you to make that on your job? And they're like, 2 days, 3 days. I said, exactly. And then you hit them with it. Normally they want to start with the lower price you showed them, and they'll work their way up later. So I asked them, I noticed we started with the lower price, but you really wanted more coverage, and you said that you're gonna increase it later. What's your plan? What's your plan for being able to afford it later? And how later are we talking? They never have a plan. Then you hit them with, I'm your plan. I'm your plan, okay? See, I wasn't supposed to be here just to show you life insurance. I was supposed to be here to show you a lifestyle, show you some light at the end of your tunnel, because I know your job is suffocating you. We just talked about it. I just did a presentation. I sucked information out of her through the whole presentation. She was on an interview and she didn't even know it. You see what I'm saying? So how can I not get a better quality recruit that way? How can I not? See, you have to use what you got to get what you want. In front of somebody, it's every opportunity to build your business. You have to buy into the fact that you have now been given the license to go distribute, okay? What do you do for a living? I build businesses. What do you do for a living? I'm the neighborhood hope dealer, okay? I sell hope and opportunity. The thing that you don't get on your job, that's what I do. You see me for that. You have to embody that. You have to be that. I mean, it was so crucial for me that, in neighborhoods across Los Angeles, LA County, Orange County, I was all over the place. And they just knew me as, oh, that's the insurance lady. That's the finance lady. Oh, even when I pulled up to the neighborhoods that wasn't so favorable, and the guys would watch my car for me, can you watch my car for me? Sure, we're watching. Nobody's gonna mess with your car. What do? I sell insurance. I need some insurance. And in my mind, I'm thinking, But I'll give you my card, But you have to be so about this thing that it's what you do. It's oozing out of you. It is what you become. And some of you, let's be honest. Some of you have some family members you need to really show them that this thing works. Some of you have some naysayer family members. That was my inspiration. That was my drive. That was my, I had someone tell me one time, that Primerica thing, people can really make some good money, but not everybody's gonna make good money. You know how I took that? I took it personal. I said, so what you're telling me is that why do I have to be one of the ones that don't? You're telling me that I'm gonna be one of the ones that do not make good money. But good money means different things to different people, right? Okay, because good money to me is a whole lot of money. And so I said, that bothered me. But see, you can say it bothers you or you can act like it bothers you. And see, I act like it bothered me. I was on a mission. I had something to prove. And listen, you have to get upset in the right way. Don't get upset in the wrong way. Don't even let them know it upsets you. Just let it push you, let it motivate you. Find that person. I know everybody has one or two or three. Find that person in your life that now that I got my contract, I'm going to show them. You got people in your family that may already be making $200,000 a year. People in your family are already making $150,000 a year. And you may not even have your watch yet, and that's okay. It's okay because you have the contract that, I remember my upline told me one time, he said, for right now, you're here and they're here in your family. This is where they are right here. You're here and they're here. They're making more money than you and that's fine. He said, but they don't have an opportunity like you. So you can get up tomorrow and you can say, you know what? I'm gonna make 15 grand this month. And you can actually go do it. They can't say that. Their check's not getting any bigger than what the man allows them to make. You understand that? So you have to understand what you can do. You might start off right here, but eventually you're gonna catch them and y'all gonna be making about the same. Now, how long it takes is totally up to you. But eventually y'all gonna make about the same. And then one day it's gonna be over. And you gonna be up here, they gonna be still down here 10 years later and they can't even catch you or think about catching you. And then that's when you're gonna get the respect at the family function, okay? That's when you're gonna pull up and your car gonna be so nice, they're gonna say, move your car. They're not gonna park that down the street. You can park in the driveway, honey. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna happen. You have to believe that that's what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It is your time. It is your time. I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I am so proud of every last one of you. Congratulations for being a regional vice president in the best place in the world next to Disneyland. Okay? I love you and I'll see you at the top.
How is that for lighting it up? I mean, I'm walking in the back and there's fire on the floor after Tonia walks over it. It's crazy. Hey, listen, there's 170 MIT grads in this room, right? And listen, we all know that the business works. Okay, there's more people in this business that make 6 and 7 figures than any other company in the history of American business, right? And we know that already. So which means there's a proven system, right or wrong. And the only missing ingredient is us, right or wrong. And so the next speaker that I'm going to bring up, he joined the business before there was a proven system. Before there was a proven system. Gave up a $100,000 a year job in the 70s. Now that's like 2 million today, right? Before there was a system, before there was Netflix, before there were iPhones, okay? He's one of the original 85 regional vice presidents. Well, no, one of the original 85 people, number 9th regional vice president ever promoted in the history of A.O. Williams Primerica, okay? He is the original builder, OB, right? That's a new term, right? He's an OB, right? Original builder. But give your hands up to, listen, I get emotional thinking about the founders of the company, okay? But without this person, without people that were the founders, we wouldn't be here today. 170 people here today, twice a year, because of people like this, okay? The great Bill Orender.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I appreciate it, but I want to make sure you know I'm Bill Orender, not Bill Whittle. You know, we look a lot alike, and a lot of people get us confused. You know, I appreciate what Glenn said, but, you know, being a pioneer isn't all that it's cracked up to be. Because if you remember, the pioneers got the arrows, and the settlers got the land. And so we got a lot of arrows back in our day. And I would congratulate you on becoming regional vice presidents. Isn't that nice? Big deal. Now, when are you going SVP? I mean, geez, how long you been at RVP and you're not even an SVP yet? Remember how you got to be RVP? You went, oh, and guess what happens when you get the SVP? Like my wife, when I made $100,000, wonderful, when are we making $2? And so it's never going to end. This is just the beginning. It's not the launching pad. It's not the end of your careers. And the whole purpose that Art Williams created the RVP position is for you to create RVPs. Until you're an SVP, you ain't got squat. Because that's where all the unlimited income, secure income comes in, the freedom of time and money when you have multiple RVPs that could multiply. So you got to be thinking, when am I going SVP? When's it going to happen? And what do I have to do to make that happen? And that's what I'm going to be talking to you about today, how you can have a perennial base shop and how to get it going and what your role in it is. Because most people stop way before it ready to start cranking. You know, just before they get it going, they stop and they slow down because then they start thinking, these people that I have need to be trained. And I got to work with them and spend time with them. And what happens is those people don't pan out. Now you spend the rest of your life mad at them. I don't understand why you quit and didn't make me rich. It's kind of a mantra that goes around this company. But our business is fundamental because back in the day, a long time ago when they had fires in fireplaces, you had two things you had to remember in the days when it was cold outside. Put a fire in the fireplace and don't let it go out. And second thing, stoke the fire in the morning and stoke the fire in the evening. I saw this thing years ago about these people that had to live like they were in the 1800s up in Montana. And they said they all would have died. Why? Because they never had enough wood to last them the winter. Because we tend to think, I've got 3 or 4 RVPs, or 3 or 4 people on my base, isn't that great? I'm going to work with them and help them and work with them, and then they quit, and then you go, well, that one didn't work. And then you go get another 5, well, that one didn't work. There is a way, and I did it for 8 years. This is my story of what I did for 8 years to get me where I am. And that you got to build a bonfire and never let it go out. You never let it go out. And it goes, the first, of course, is the bonfire rule of building a hierarchy. It's like a bonfire. You can't let it go out, and you got to keep stoking it. You stoke it, not if I can get other people to start stoking it. You can't get anybody to do anything if you haven't figured that out. Just ask your wife. Just ask a teenager what you can do to get them doing it. Ask my mother what she could have done to get me to study harder. Nothing. Again, most people get one stick. They want to build a bonfire. They get one stick, and they what? And the next one, please. They work really hard. You know, my son does these. I forget what they call them, but all these events where you do all this stuff, and if you miss one event, you got to do these things called burpees. And if you don't do it right, you got to do 15 burpees. And a woman, I was watching her one day, she said, instead of doing 15, what if I did one really, really good one? That's how we look at it. If I can get one really, really good recruit, and I love on them, and I help them, and we get that thing going, right? And we expect it to stick and do something because we love them, and they're our best friends, and friends don't quit on friends, right? Oh, no. But Dad, I'm going to get rid of that right now. I've recruited a lot of relatives that are not in this business anymore. And I got some relatives that are. The point is, you just never know. The point is, most people, you breathe to 1 or 3 recruits a month, and you live and die with them. You go to their potlucks, you visit their children, you build those relationships. It's a business of building relationships, right? Listen to Art Williams. When do you build relationships with people? After they stick their heads up. Not before, because we think, if I love on them, they'll do something. If I help them, they'll do something. If I go to their kids' ball games, they'll love me more. No guarantees that at all. Why? Because they're human beings. And one sports writer said, you never want to bet on a 2-legged animal. They're fickle, right? Everyone else is fickle but they're fickle. Again, what do you have to do? When you realize the 1 to 3 that you think are going to make it probably won't. Art Williams said the ones you think won't, will, and the ones you think will, won't. He also talked about the law of large numbers, massive, selective masses. We tend to think we could change people. Here's how you do it, folks. You get a bunch of sticks together. That's called recruits. I committed myself to be involved with 10 recruits a month coming in I was going to be involved with every month. And from those 10 recruits, because we have a lot of internal consumption, and what they buy and some of their friends buy, right? I would put my name on 10 life apps a month. So every month, all I thought about is, I'm going to be involved with 10 recruits, and I'm going to put my name on 10,000 in premium, not 10,000 in premium, 10 life apps. Because you get 10,000 sometimes in like 4 or 5 apps. That's what my commitment was, and I didn't look up, I just kept doing that. When are you going to find a stud? I knew that a stud would come one day because the sparks would fly. And so guess what happened? When you have been involved in 10 recruits a month, it takes you about 6 months of keeping that bonfire going before you see any results. Because you want it the first month, the first week, because you spend the rest of your life saying, what are they doing? It's not what they're doing, it's how long they're doing it. And guess what happens? You get your first bonfire going, 10 by 10, 10 by 10, all by yourself. There's nobody helping you. You're waiting for the crusaders to come in and help you. Why don't people want to work? You just got to keep your head. That's what I do. I build that bonfire every month. I did this for 8 years. So I'm not saying it's a theory I should have. This is what I did. And it's amazing, you talk to anyone who's built it, that's what we all did. Next one, please. Again, it takes you 6 months to get it going, but then guess what happens? I'll keep going to the second month. You're involved with 10 again, and again, and again, and again. Like Art Williams said, nothing, then boom. It's getting through the nothings for a long period of time. But you do what, you know what? You keep doing it, and a spark will fly, right? 6 months later, guess what happens? A spark flies, and you don't know where it's coming from. You don't know which one it's going to be. If you think you can pick out your winner, I got this sharp guy, he's going to do stuff, good luck with that one. Right? But guess what happens? Now, you're double digiting, took you 6 months. Every month, double digiting, you're involved. Meaning, I recruited 2 personal and drove it down 4 each, there's my 10. Got that? That's how you do it. And then guess what? If it takes me 6 months to find a spark, now I've got 2 people. I'm double digit, 10 by 10. They're double digiting. It's not going to take 6 months. It's going to take 3 months. Because you got 2 of us doing it right now. Now you're sparking. Now you got other people doing it with you. You're not the only one, but you keep doing it, and you keep seeing that person do it. You don't say, I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing and help them. No. You got to keep that bonfire going. Like Carol said, I ain't making the money. You make the money. Some of you wives ought to be telling that to your husband. Husbands ought to be telling that to your wives. Guess what now? You got 2 people building your business, your hierarchy. Now you got 2 people. Guess what? again and again, month after month after month. Guess what happens 3 months later? Another spark. But now you were doing 10 by 10, now you're doing 20 by 20. That third spark, 40 by 40. Why? Because why? They had a spark, and now you have a second spark. So you go from 20 to 40. Now, it might take you a year, it might take you 9 months, but you do stop? No, you just keep going. Now you got 4 double-digit teams doing 40 by 40, and guess what now? Instead of having 6 months to find a spark or 2 months to find a spark, now you're finding a spark every month. Think about that now. A person to go out there that will do what you're doing. Now you have 8 double-digit teams. When you get 8 double-digit teams, sparking every what? 3 weeks. Next one, please. Now you're doing 80 by 80. Well, and it keeps going. But what do? Do your part. You don't back off. They're watching you. By the way, people will follow you and do what you do. No, they won't. Don't worry about it. All that stuff you believe is a bunch of baloney. But just do this, and it works, right? Now you're doing 80 by 80. How do they have an 80 by 80 base shop? Because they kept the 10 by 10 going personal, and they started sparking. Next one, please. Now you got 16 double-digit teams. Doing what? Sparking, right? And now you're not finding one every 6 months, but now you're finding a spark every week. There's some hierarchies that are sparking every day. They're finding studs. And every half day. Why? You got 160 by 160 base shop, and all you did was you started a bonfire, you kept it going, and you didn't look up. And I did that for 8 months. And some of those what? Go RVP. Guess what now? They start to double digit, right? And they start sparking, and they start, next thing you know, if everyone keeps doing the same thing, they don't sit back and say, oh, I got to get my Series 65 licensed. You know what you want to do on a 65? Until you got you're an SVP, you shouldn't look right or left. You're just what? People said to me, well, aren't you going to get your 65 license? Do I need it to override? No, I ain't getting it. I'd rather spend all that time recruiting. So what happens is you're in total control. Understand that the system we have that Art Williams created, that all of us utilized and got wealthy, is now in your hands. You're an RVP. It's done. Now what? It's how many RVPs do you want? How many? Your goal is 18 direct RVPs. You want one of these rings? Yeah. This is called Circle of Champions, because we are champions at drawing circles. Thank you, Francis Averett. By the way, my son designed this ring, but he didn't get any credit for it. I'm telling you, though, 18 directs. And I'm going to do a part after this that they're going to film on replacement to tell you how you're going to get your 18 directs. And you can have those 18 directs in the next 3 to 4 years. Remember this, where you are, we once were. Where we are, you will one day be. Thank you very much.
We were in the back. They had to come get us because we were taking notes like crazy in the back, Susan and I, okay? And it was crazy. But the next person I want to bring up, First off, her and her husband, Art, I mean, this guy's got 2,700 licensed representatives, 2,700 licensed reps, okay? 59 regional vice presidents. And not only successful in business, but they have a successful marriage, successful family, great family life, great spiritual life, okay? And I remember when we were pushing for the Ruby, and we go, hey, Susan, can you help us, cop on a Zoom? And she's like, hey, anytime you guys need, we're here, okay? And from the great state of California, see, you're not $1 million earner, right? I've heard, till you promote $1 million earner, right? And she's got a multi-million-dollar earner on her team, okay? So help me welcome up the great Susan Carreon.
Wow. What an honor and a blessing it is to speak to this absolutely electrifying 40th class, right? MIT class that is just over the last couple of days, I mean, just building new friendships, right? Getting to know people. And I just want you to know, don't ever forget this weekend. This has got to be what you go home with, right? The friendships that you've built here, the conversations that you've had over the past couple of days, because it's a life changer. It really is. And I'm super excited for you. Very proud of you. I want to give it up to, we've got an RVP here out of the hierarchy with us. We've got Rami and Abir right there, number 9 in cash flow. So give it up to them. Super excited, super proud of them. Great human beings, a great family, and we're super excited. You know, I really want you to understand that, man, yesterday, last night, you probably, or throughout the weekend, you went back to your rooms, you redefined your goals, right? You were super excited about the changes that you're going to make. But what I want you to realize is that don't go back and make changes that are going to capsize your boat. Right? Those are huge nuggets right there, because you got nuggets from every $1 million earner, right? But there may be a lot of things that you're already doing that are good, right? So don't feel or compare yourself that you got to go back and make these gigantic changes, right? And those were small lessons that were actually shared with Art and I as we were growing up in the business. So I really want to make sure that that is very important. Right? So how many of you yesterday, last night, you redefined your goals, right? You recommitted to your partnership, right? You even actually found love all over again, right? Many of you know what I'm talking about, right? Well, what I want you to understand is that you're going to get on that plane tonight or drive home, and man, guess what? Adversity is going to hit. How many of you know that, right? Some of you already got some of that in your phones already. Maybe the kids, the babysitter, or maybe your best guy just quit on you, right? Or maybe all of a sudden that client decided like, no, they don't want to move forward with this, right? And so you're coming from this environment that's exciting, that's positive, right? Uplifting, and you go home and you are going to be hit in the face with adversity. What I want you to know and understand, that adversity here is better than any adversity in the corporate world. And you've got freedom here. You have an opportunity to do something absolutely great, right? And you have to understand that, man, your attitude towards adversity, because you will hit the wall. How many of you understand that? If you haven't hit one, believe me, you will be coming up against one. But your attitude about adversity has always got to be uplifting and exciting. And you're saying like, oh yeah, right. It's easy for you to say. No, let me tell you something. Art and I, those that make the most money are hit with the most adversity. So you're either going to love and be excited about adversity, or you're just going to be a complainer and never get to where you want to go. Understand that. Don't be a complainer. You got to make sure that you ask yourself these questions as you go through any type of adversity. Can I grow from this adversity? Can I learn from the adversity? And most certainly, never play hurt in front of your teammates. See, you got to paint that smile, and you got to walk into that op night, or you got to walk into that training like you are the most electrified, excited person in the room. Because that is going to permeate throughout your organization. Isn't it so coincidental that you can listen to Mario Arizon and he's always excited, and you'll listen to me and I'm always excited, right? Monkey see, monkey what? Do. Because that's the culture that we were raised in, right? In our office, right? There's only 2 things that you can control, and it is your attitude and your activity. So be excited about those 2 things, right? If you're having a bad attitude, chances are it's because you've had no what? Activity. But activity takes away the bad attitude, whether it's a bad attitude for a partner or whether it's a bad attitude for the lead agent. You got to focus on the activity. The 8-5-3-1 on a weekly basis is the bare bones minimum. Look, You should not have any adversity here with the fact that you're not making money. Because if you were working a full-time job, you would expect to get paid, right or wrong? Well, if you're working for yourself, you better be working as many hours necessary in order to put food on the table. How many of you understand that? So not making money here is not acceptable for regional vice presidents. How many can you agree, right? Say yes, I agree. We got to get after it, right? We got to make sure that we're doing the right things. But let me also tell you another secret, that this was taught to me. See, when I was growing up in the business, I was such a reactor. How many of you know what I'm talking about, right? When somebody says something to you and all of a sudden you want to react, right? How many of you know what I'm talking about? Be honest, right? You want to react. Like when Naomi Rubio came to my home after 6 years of being in the business, a regional vice president, and she had the nerve to tell me that I was lazy. I wanted to react, all right? I wanted to react when she said that. But the truth was that she was big enough to come in and tell me the truth. And I will always be grateful for Naomi Rubio. See, you've got to be grateful for your upline regardless. Because the last time I checked, there's not one of us that are a perfect person. There's only one person that's perfect, and he ain't physically here right now. All right? So it's not you or it's not me. So always have an attitude of gratitude, right? Are there going to be differences? Absolutely there's going to be differences. We're human beings. And if you're a leader, you're going to want to do it your way, and that's understandable. But do it your way and do it a great way. Don't defray from the play of the coach, right? Mario Arizon was coachable to us until he hit about 500 grand. After 500,000 is when he pretty much went and ventured out on his own. And did we have challenges? Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with having challenges. Again, it's how you perceive them, right? And it's not tough. You have to have love for people regardless of how the person that just left your business made you feel. Don't let that affect the next person coming into your business. And sometimes we don't recruit in massive numbers because we're basing it based upon our relationship with the last person that left our business. And it's not fair to the new recruits coming in. How many of you understand what I'm talking about, right? So you've got to make sure that you leave that behind. You need to be excited regardless, right? Reacting versus responding. See, responding, right, will give you an opportunity, right, to step back and evaluate whatever is happening, whatever the situation is, right? And it'll give you an opportunity to kind of really calm yourself down and then handle that particular situation. I in no way, shape, or form are telling you to run away from conflict or situation, but please be a responder and not a reactor. Because you'll save a lot of hardships and you'll save a lot of friendships along the way, right? Because instantly we want to respond, like when Naomi came and said I was lazy, right? But I didn't. I did not say that. I just looked at myself in the mirror and I said, what are you doing that would make her respond to you that way? And really, it's what I wasn't doing that made her frustrated with me. And you're going to be frustrated with plenty of your own downlines, but guess what? Your upline was frustrated with you. All right? And so it just is the cycle of the business, right? Making sure that you understand where you're at and the time that you're at right now. You know, I am absolutely so proud. We have 76 female RVPs sitting in this room, right? And that is huge, huge. We were 50% of the graduating MIT class, right? And what I want you to know is that you have a support system. We've got Women in Primerica, where women, just like yourself, who raise children, who are married, who have a family, who have to balance everything, have gone through just what you're going to go through also. So use those resources, right? And you'll make friends amongst yourself here, but understand that Women in Primerica is an organization, right, that was founded by Jenny Carter and Francis. And Francis has been the pioneer for years to make sure that the opportunity is better for women day by day. And we've got a CEO, Glenn Williams, and Peter, that support the women in Primerica in a big way. I really believe that the women will be the greatest equalizer when it comes to million-dollar income earners over this next decade. I really believe that with everything in my heart, right? We had one of the top income earners, right, out of Diana Macia's organization, right? And we've got people that are just lined up. And when I started with Women in Primerica many years ago, right, it didn't look like that. We had to look on the leaders bulletin just for a female to be doing 30 by 30. And today, that's nothing. We're looking at women who are doing 100 by 100, right? And I really believe that is going to grow. And so men, hint, keep recruiting. Make sure you're recruiting everybody, but make sure you're recruiting women too, because I'm telling you, we are on fire right now, right? And ladies, I just want you to know, if you're strong enough to build it, you're strong enough to lead it, right? And understand that. And I'm so grateful for my husband, my own partner, right? Art, I mean, he's unbelievable. He's just a wonderful father, a great co-CEO with me in our business. I retired him when he was 40, and together we have built something that is unbelievable. But we started just like you, newly promoted RVPs, scared and afraid if we could do it. And what we realized that the strength that we drew on was not just from ourselves. It was from somebody way higher above than just Art and I. Art and I always knew that it was God, family, and business, and that we were going to succeed together, right? I'll be celebrating 44 years of marriage with my amazing partner in December, right? And we've never been more excited, right? More excited about the growth of the company. Because we know that the future of what you do here will have a huge impact on our grandchildren. And that's why you got to take these things personal for you and your children. It's not just about you. In fact, take yourself out of the equation. Be a giver for the rest of your life, a giver of your time, a giver of your resources, a giver of your positiveness. Look, you can't go wrong by being that one person. Because let me tell you something, and many of you understand this. Look, I run from negative people. I don't want to know nothing negative. I don't want to know about sicknesses. Do sicknesses happen? Yes, of course. I don't want to know about those things because I don't want to think about them. All I want to think about are great things that are happening in our life, right? And they're going to. But in order for you to be a part of a movement, right, you need to be a part of the 150,000 codes that we need to get before convention of 2024. And let me tell you something, Glenn does a great job of showing us what happens if you've got 100 codes. Guys, how many of those are going to be yours? Are you going to walk across the stage with your second diamond, your third diamond, your fourth diamond, right? Are you going to be the one that separates yourself from this class and says, oh no, it's going to be me, right? Are you going to be part of the team that has that 70,000 plus mindset of getting people to convention? Look, you've got to be excited. You've got to be planning for convention right now. You got to make sure that you know what you want to do between now and then. Look, I know what we want to do between now and then, and I know what I want for the hierarchy, and I know that I want more million-dollar earners in the hierarchy. No doubt Tony and Manal Masood will hit the $1 million between now and convention. First two brothers that will ever do it. I'm putting my last dollar on those two guys that they'll get it done, right? No doubt. But you got to leave here so excited and so fired up and so pumped up and ready to go. And you're saying, man, how do I be pumped up? You choose to be pumped up. You don't wait for somebody to motivate you. If you've got children, put them on your phone. That's your motivation. And man, you've got to give it all you got. And you got to know that people are counting on you, not just here, out there too. They're counting on you. They're counting on you not to punk out. They're counting on you to step up to the plate, to go out there, get big, Don't retreat, move forward, sell out to the company's game plan, because I'm telling you, they got what it takes for us, and I'm willing to go out there and do what it takes for them. God bless you guys. Love you guys. I'll see you guys at the top.
Has been an incredible meeting or what, guys, right? To close us out, obviously he does not need an introduction, but I want to tell you that Glenn and I have been, and all of us guys, as RVPs, for us to be in this era with this man, the CEO, the best CEO on the planet, right, guys? Someone who's just high integrity, has fostered the success. Guys, do you know the era we're in? That we have more $100,000 earners, more $1 million earners than ever before. Is that huge or what? More RVPs getting promoted out. It's just a blessing, guys, to have him leading this company and leading us as a team. I mean, I can't tell you how we don't want to let our coach down, right? We don't want our mentors, our leaders, but when I look at the head coach of Primerica, when I look at a man that's pushing to make this company the very best, and it's happening, right, with all of us together, right? We're one team, right, guys? It's one dream, one goal. And our goal is to get to #1, but we're not going to let our coach down, right, guys? We're not, right, guys? We're taking this to #1. So we're walking into Mercedes-Benz team as the #1 team. Let's go out there. Let's give the #1 CEO in the country, on the planet, the best shout out that we can, right, guys? I'm so emotional right now because this is an honor for us to bring our amazing CEO. Please put your hands together for the awesome Glenn Williams, guys.
Thank you very much. Wow. Y'all are awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. What an incredible, it's okay. Thank y'all. Oh, that's too much. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. What an honor it's been to spend the last 3 days together with this incredible group of leaders. We love you too. Hey, let me start with a question. Let me start by asking you a question. You've been to MIT. We're at the very end of the experience, and I need to just check in with you and ask you if as a result of being at this event, how many of you believe that the MIT experience has begun a transformation in you to become an even better leader? How many would say that? Well, if you feel that way, would you give all the $1 million earners that poured themselves into you over the last 3 days a huge round of applause for doing that? Thank you to them. And now listen, hey, how about Glenn and Zio Lee that emceed the entire 3 days? Give them a hand. And of course, all your home office hosts that worked so hard, give them a hand too if you would. Thank you for that. Thank you for being such a great group of guests. But you know, in the tradition of the final speaker at graduation, you got to ask yourself, what can be said to be added to all that you've learned, just to leave an echo ringing in your head as you board up and get ready to head back to your teams and your family. And so I just want to leave you with a challenge, with actually 4 quick challenges so you can take action when you leave here and be a leader of action. Here's the first one. When you leave MIT, you should have a focus on making money. You are building a business. You are not building a nonprofit educational institution. That's not why you're here. You're here to build a business, and that means you've got to fully activate that RVP contract. You have the same RVP contract that everyone sitting in the room with you has and all the $1 million earners have. And remember that we said that contract is designed to be a minimum $100,000 a year opportunity. 28 of you have already activated it to that level or beyond, and I want to challenge every one of you to have focus. right now on getting that ring and celebrating that on stage at the convention next July. Is that a deal? $100,000 a year. Now, how are you going to do that? We talked about it on Saturday. You learn the power of 30 additional licenses. 30 additional licenses in your base shop adds $10,000 a month in premium, and $10,000 a month in premium adds on average $100,000 a year to an RVP income. That's how you do it. So when you leave here, you need to have that focus on making money. That's first of all. But in addition to making money, number two is you need to save your money. You need to make money and save money. But listen, income alone will not make you a financially independent family. You've got to do something with that income. You've got to save that income. And I can tell you this, the crap that you buy and post on social media will definitely not make you a financially independent family. That's not why you're here. But building a team will, building assets under management will, the Primerica business that you came here to learn about building and growing will make you a financially independent family. But let me give you some practical steps for saving money when you live MIT. How many of you are familiar with MAP, the Money Accumulation Program? Automatic deduction from your Primerica compensation that's set aside for you. It's your money, you own it, you control it, but it's just a convenient way for you to set aside some of your income, to pay your taxes, to make sure that you're saving every month, to make sure that you're setting aside to give to those causes that are important to you. I would challenge you to plug into the Money Accumulation Plan. Earn equity as an RVP every quarter. Make sure that you understand the rules. Build your business in a way that it qualifies you for equity every single quarter. I shared with you that we've awarded RVPs over $750 million of equity compensation at Primerica already. 10% of the value of the company is in the hands of regional vice presidents. You can participate in that. Earn equity. And lastly, qualify for full ownership. Yes, that ring is important, but that third diamond is a special diamond because that qualifies you to own the income from that code number while you're on this planet and for your family to own it after you're gone from this planet. It's not about earning ownership to sell. It's about earning ownership so you never have to sell your business and keeping it in your family. So number one is make money. Number two is save money. Number three, lead a business of character. Lead a business of character. Be a leader of character who builds a business of character. You see, it's not just about winning and leaving destruction in your path. It's about building the right kind of business. It's about having the right kind of culture, the right kind of environment, the right kind of character on your team. And I believe all of that is determined by your character as a leader because your team will reflect who you are. How your team acts, how your team thinks is going to come directly from your character. How can you measure if you're building a team of character? Well, you can ask yourselves a couple of questions. Are people on your team treated with respect? Is it a respectful, it's got to be fun, it needs to be competitive, it needs to be all those things, but are people respected on your team? Do you do a great job, not just a good job, but a great job for your clients? Do you make sure all of their needs are addressed? Yes, you protect those families. Yes, you help them invest. You help them get out of debt. Are you doing a complete job for the families that you're serving? And are you building for the long term? I talked about on Saturday that the thing that we do best is build distribution that is profitable and sustainable. Sustainable is the long-term view because I can tell you what you're doing is more than about this month's bonus. It's more than about winning Hawaii. And by the way, you ought to bonus this month and you ought to win Hawaii. But it's about more than that. It's about the next 5 years or the next 10 years or the next generation or generations that follow. That's what you're building. You're building for the long term. So that's three things. Make money, save money, and lead a business of character. The fourth thing is to maximize your leadership impact when you leave MIT. You see, the RVP role is about leadership, and leadership is defined as influence. Your job as an RVP, if you maximize your leadership, is to influence people to do the good things they wouldn't normally do if not for your intervention. That's how you measure yourself. Are you helping people do good things that they wouldn't normally do if not for your intervention in their lives? You see, after MIT, you must be a different leader. And when you get home, your team needs to reflect the difference in your leadership. So leave here with a bigger vision. Leave here taking bolder action. Leave here with more urgency and intensity than ever before. You see, the bottom line of your MIT experience is not to wait until you're $1 million earner to act like one. Begin acting like $1 million earner right now. So send you out of here with confidence. It's my great honor and my privilege to ask the 40th class of MIT to stand with me right now. Take your official MIT hats and put those on as I give you your charge. It's by my authority as CEO of Primerica, I hereby declare this 40th class as millionaires in training and fully qualified to achieve your destiny as millionaires. Give that hand.